Hello everybody. Maize version has a strictly enforced Nuzlocke mode, and that brought some unforeseen problems to the game. For example, let's say the player is unlucky enough to have never caught a Pokemon that can learn Fly or Surf or any of the HMs. That means they won't be able to progress in the game, just because certain parts of the game require you to fly or use Strength or Surf. In fact, I was watching a Let's Play of Maize version, and the player got stuck in the Pyrite City gym because they needed a Poison-type Pokemon in their party to progress. However, they had already been to every single route, run into a Pokemon on all of them, meaning they couldn't catch any more Pokemon. So it was impossible for them to progress in the game. And that's bad. Obviously, I don't want to have that. So my first idea was to have an NPC in one of the cities. He would trade you an HM slave for one of your current Pokemon in your party. I liked that idea at first, but I went away from it because it's sort of like the player has to remember where he is, and you can only get, 5 different Pokemon from him. It's just kind of a boring mechanic. So I scrapped that, and I opted to go for something called the Slave Ball instead. The Slave Ball is a lot like a Pokeball. It has the same catch rate, but when you catch a Pokemon with it, it converts the Pokemon into an HM slave. And what an HM slave is it's a Pokemon that is permanently set to level 2, and it doesn't get any experience. So rare candies won't work on it. None of the medicine items will work on it. It's just a perfectly useless Pokemon that is just meant to bail you out of the situations where you are required to have an HM to progress the game. So yeah, on this route right here, I've already tried catching a Pokemon, so I'm not able to use a regular Pokeball or any kind of ball, because it's Nuzlocke mode. But the Slave Ball you can use on any route at any time. So again, like, you're supposed to be able to catch any Pokemon at any time, but at a price. So I just caught this Pidgey. If we go to his stats screen, just a sec here. If you go to its stats screen, you'll see that it's level 2. I also just set its HP to 0 when you catch it, because why not? But yeah, so it also says HM Slave on the top. So this Pidgey's permanently set to level 2. You can teach it Fly. Cool, so there's also another problem with Nuzlocke mode, which is pretty closely related to this. Let's say I'm surfing down a route, and there's an island, and there's a trainer on the island, and I battle the trainer, but during the battle, my only Pokemon that knows Surf and my only Pokemon that knows Fly are both killed. But I still win the battle, so when I get out of the battle, I'm stuck on the island and there's no way to get off. That's also really bad, and I wouldn't want the player to get stuck. So wasn't really sure how to get the player out of that situation without just having a reset button. So when you play Nuzlocke mode, there's this extra menu item on the bottom called Go Home. And when you use Go Home, it'll take you back to Lapis Town, which is the first town in the game. And it's just supposed to be like a, get out of jail free card, I guess. You're not going to want to just use this for no reason. But so the idea is that, you'd use this to get off the island, and then you'd find the closest mart, buy some slave balls, because every mart sells slave balls, and they're really cheap. They're like 50 Poke dollars or whatever you call it. And then you catch a Pidgey and then fly to wherever you want to go. But yeah, so that's how I addressed a couple of the problems in Nuzlocke mode. Thanks for watching.